If we ask most human beings, they would say they want to make the world a better place. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because to truly create a heaven on earth and know what's preventing it from happening, we need to first understand the situation thoroughly and accurately. Paraphrasing from Albert Einstein, give me 1 hour to save the planet and I'll spend 59 minutes understanding the problem and 1 minute resolving it. For example, we might with the best of intentions spread the word on a recent news of a certain injustice that you believe people should know about. And there are many examples in the past few years that I'm sure everyone can recall of. Whether it's a new governmental law, racism, discrimination, war, crime. However, with all our combined might and effort, it pales in comparison to one of the social media giants having their algorithm bury our content if it's not in alignment with their policy. And I'm not saying to not do anything, but I'm saying to be aware of who truly has the most impact and influence in this world. Almost everything we do in our daily lives are influenced by businesses and corporations directly or indirectly. Our monthly paycheck, the clothes we wear, the food we eat, the cars we drive, the house we live in, the social media content we see on our phones on a daily basis. Even the government is influenced by corporations when political candidates are funded by them. And even the Federal Reserve that prints the US dollars, which is the world's reserve currency, is owned independently of the government by private institutions. And statistics show that the richest 1% of the world owns close to 50% of the world's wealth, and most of the world's richest are owners of businesses and corporations where they can parlay their wealth into government and not-for-profit. For example, Donald Trump, a billionaire business mogul, became the president of the United States, and Bill Gates, formerly the richest man on the planet, became the largest contributor to the World Health Organization. And people at the top of these positions would then be able to control more of our world as they wish to, and through laws and regulations surrounding animal cruelty, welfare, what's considered legal and illegal, like abortion laws, discrimination, equality. And what I shared is all fine and dandy, assuming businesses and the people behind them have an extremely strong moral compass, ethics, and their actions truly reflect in prioritizing making our world a better place over making more profit and their own political agenda and worldview. However, the reality is much more disturbing than we wish it was. A quick Google research or recall of our memory, if you are up to date, will reveal to us the countless instances of environmental pollution, exploitation of workers, corporation greedy frauds and scams, breach of privacy, white-collar crimes, misinformation propaganda, restriction of speech, harming people's health with harmful ingredients, putting profits over people, and a lot more examples. Also, lots of research has shown that CEOs are the number one career with the highest psychopaths and unvirtuous traits. Inversely, social and charity workers have the least amount of psychopaths. Excluding natural selection of people in those careers, there's an element of environmental factor where these positive values can be thought and practiced. That's why we can see certain countries or cities have lower crime rates, nicer people, higher morals and ethics carried out. And my personal experience is visiting a Sukyo Mahikari organization center where good values are constantly shared and inculcated, like gratitude, humility, non-judgmental, kindness, positivity, forgiveness, being caring, integrity, altruism, generosity, environmental sustainability, and more. And I found myself to be in an environment and place where there's a higher percentage of people expressing higher morals and ethics in words and deeds over there. And I first observed this phenomenon while studying at university, while my friends heavily involved in volunteering for not-for-profits are more humble, honest, kind, and well-intentioned, compared to friends competing and doing whatever it takes to climb the top of high-paying, prestigious jobs who have higher ego, jealousy, selfishness, and not well-intentioned. And one leaning towards more servitude of others, while the other is more self-centered material gain. So to understand the major problems of our world, we need to rewind the clock to understand some of the root causes of it. Just like with everything we learn in life, whether it's a new language, a new subject, a new skill, It has to be taught thoroughly for us to learn it. And morals and ethics dictate almost everything we do in life. And there are even degrees and PhDs in philosophy, morals and ethics, yet it's not being fostered during the early years of most schools, K-12 to secondary and beyond. And in our personal lives, it ranges from how we treat each other as human beings, the words we say, the emotions we express, our ignorance and wisdom level, our thoughts, the movies we watch, and the decisions and actions we make for the rest of our lives. In business, it ranges from lawsuits, share price manipulation, misleading customers, cutting corners at the sake of others, mistreating employees, taking advantage of stakeholders, and more. And all these decisions stem from our belief of what's right and what's wrong. As the saying goes, to be safe than sorry. And it will serve us much better to be more proactive, to inculcate strong moral values into our society, than praying and hoping that humans innately know how to make virtuous decisions. And from human history, there is a strong evidence against that this is not the case. What's more is that morals and ethics are subjective, not absolute, and vary with lots of nuances in each specific situation. Many instances of what was considered normal, even just a few hundred years ago, out of the span of thousands of years of human history, are considered outright unacceptable and even illegal in today's day and age, like discriminated racial toilets, certain crimes, open smoking, certain drugs, no driving and texting, gender discrimination in voting, child labor, minimum wages, and more. This goes to show that our level of moral compass is ever evolving and should continue to improve. In addition to the aforementioned facts, some of today's news media outlets and followed business leaders are not setting the right examples either, which indirectly influence people and businesses negatively. They are valuing people in society highly solely based on revenue and money metrics, with blanket statements equating how successful someone is to how much wealth they have accumulated. Additionally, entrepreneurs and company awards as well as rankings are largely based on revenue growth, which can be very misleading in deeming how successful they are without considering other factors. You can find some of these wealthy individuals and companies have on average extremely many negative reviews from customers and employees, customers complaining that they have been misled, cheated, overpromised and underdelivered, while employees have complained of toxic work culture or being overworked and underpaid. And we have not even considered other factors like ESG, environmental social governance, and CSR, corporate social responsibility of those companies. So, what can we do about this? Now that we understand further how significant businesses can either steer our world towards the direction of so-called hell on earth or heaven on earth, we can take better actions with high impact as a catalyst of positive change. On an individual level, we should still continue doing what we can to make the world a better place for everyone and Mother Earth in every capacity possible. Paraphrasing from Johann Wolfgang, let everyone sweep in front of his own door and the whole world will be clean. However, in the day and world we live in today, where an extremely small minority of people has such a large influence on our world, we have to be mindful of also taking high leverage actions to solve our world's problems. Quoting from Archimedes, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world.